Good evening, everyone. And here we are at Passion Talks with Kanchan Sonik Season 2. And this is our fourth episode already. I can't be more happy and thrilled to have Dr. Kamaljeet Kaur. She is so much to me that first when I heard her name, I thought, doctor means the doctor we all think. Until I got to know her that doctor could be dear, doctor could be the doctor where she is in the industry of education and not from the medical industry. But what an aura and energy. Wherever you feel Dr. Kamaljeet is around, you will find a bubbly person all around, ensuring everybody is happy and safe. So, thank you, Dr. Kamaljeet, for agreeing to be on Passion Talks. And I'm proud and privileged to be the host today to have you around. Thank you so much, first.
Thank you. Thank you, Kanchan. It's an honor to be with you on Passion Talks with Kanchan. I was waiting for to be invited by you.
Yeah, it took me to season 2 because this is the series where we are talking about women in leadership. Last time when we did Passion Talks, it was all on the passion. So, passionate leaders doing something else from their passion. This time it is the focus on women in leadership. And see, you have made it in the first five. So, you know why you are here. To all of the others who are watching us live and will get to hear this in the due course, she is a person who is an inquisitive learner. Wherever there is learning, you will find Dr. Kamaljeet around. And a person who has reached to a director in a college, so you understand how much it takes to reach there, done her PhD. She's also equilibriumly present in Toastmasters, attained her distinguished Toastmaster, which is an highest honor. Right now, she is the Division E division director at District 125 of Toastmasters, doing her justice and making her voice felt. She is also in Rotary. And at this, she has not given up on learning because she is doing her engineering from writing the entrance exam to living it all. I don't know how you find time for being a wonderful educator, an amazing mom of two, a wonderful wife, and this learning journey. How do you find time? Is my first question to you, Dr. Kamalji.
I would say that you have to declutter your life. There are so many things which I don't do, which many women do. So, and I'm okay with it. You can't be doing everything. So, I'm not that bell person who would be doing puja for us. So, maybe I'm saving time there. Delegated it to my husband, who does it right in the morning 5 while I'm still sleeping. And when I get up, some things we have divided, like my daughter, my son, uh, even they know cooking. So you know what kind of person I am. So I am least hesitant to delegate my duties to others. So I am lucky to have a family where even my mother-in-law treats me like a daughter-in-law, and not just like a daughter-in-law, but a daughter in
Wow.
real sense. So, in fact, if I've got a headache, I can sleep in my mother-in-law's lap, and she will make a hot tea, lemon tea, or ginger tea for me. So, I think it is all about understanding what you don't want to do in your life and focusing on the right things, because we have limited time.
So, as I said, right, Dr. Kamaljeet is going to wow with her presence and words. The first thing she touched in the message here is art of delegation. No need to master it all. No need to have your hands in all the pies. Choose your pie and learn the art of delegation. It won't come, it would not come at first. You need to, as slowly as you can go, master the art by being the artist. So thank you so much for starting with a message and creating your support system. So your family being your strength, how wonderfully you said that we really need help and it's okay to ask. So thank you so much. Now, Kamaljeet, let's go, Dr. Kamaljeet, to an era where you were born and your childhood and your family, and how did you see the world then and how it helped you to become what you are today.
Well, I am the third child in my family. I've got an elder brother, then an elder sister, and then I was born. And typically, I was born at home, and that too, I'm a breech baby, means my feet came first than my head. So my grandmother, maternal grandmother, she did the delivery. So
Wow.
right from childhood, I had actually two, because of that aberrations and all that, I actually had horns. Okay, I was born with two horns. And due to that, my mother in law used to feel that I'm very ugly, sort of. And she never showed me to anybody for quite a long time, means till the time my horns were gone. They're not there now, but lot of massaging and all that. So special care was taken. I was weak baby, and later on, maybe because of all that pampering, I became a pampered child, and I used to demand a lot. And somewhere I would say, though I was the, means we are four siblings, I also have a younger brother, but because of my nature, I never felt that I am part of the four. I felt I was the only child, and I did things my way or highway. I never liked to compromise most of the things. So, though my elder sister has studied in Marathi medium, somewhere when they put me in a Marathi medium school, I made a hue and cry and told my father I want to go to my brother's school. I didn't like it there. So I think I kept on demanding and pressurized my parents. I think I gave them a tough time. But after a particular time, somewhere, actually, they had made my kundali, and in that it was written that she has a very strong guru. So let her study. So my father believed in me, compared to my mother, who wanted me to be more of a cook, cleaner, and all that. So she used to keep me away from studies, and that's what made me very much curious about studies. It was something which I got by snatching, fighting, because she said that it's not, we belong to business class family, so daughters in our family, forget about daughters, even boys in our family are not educated. So my father was ninth pass, and he was the topmost educated person in the family. So you can imagine that what it takes for a daughter to get graduated. I think all that made me feel that yes, I have to ask for it, then only I will get. And I never hesitated to ask for it. I got it
Good.
only when I asked for it. So asking became my way.
So, second key takeaway with this conversation, Dr. Kamaljeet, I feel is being vocal and asking for what you think is right. Not whatever is catered to you, but if it doesn't please you, there's no harm in asking. So, what
Yes.
if you didn't ask to go to English medium school?
Yeah.
Right? What if
Right.
you didn't say that I'm a learner and I want to learn?
Yes.
What if you believed in your mother and tried not to be you? You must have feel choked. So you expressed and you ensured that you were heard and you at least kept your point without realizing what would happen. So
Yes.
there you made your presence and since a child, and it was nobody who taught you that. You felt that was right thing at the right time and you did it. Right?
Right. You got it. You summarized it so nicely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamaljeet. By being the first one thinking to study and not now, it's at least 4 decades back, which we are talking right now.
Yes.
Today, girl child education is okay, but coming from a business class and a North Indian family, and where food is the priority when we are talking, right? Even if you have your meal and keep your plate, the next conversation is what is the next meal, right? So coming from that place and an aura that food is something which is the way of expressing love, or food is the way of expressing how well you take care of your family, from changing that, the shift, towards education and that love for learning? How did you embrace that?
So I didn't let them complain about not being a good cook. I learned cooking and all that. I can actually cook for entire village, langar and all that. But at the same time, let me tell you, if you do too much of something, life will ensure that you don't have to do all that in your second part of life. So in the second part, I've saved off all those things. But when this thing had started, somewhere we had a very tight schedule. Actually, my mother's Miss paternal house is exactly opposite Yeroda jail. And people used to say, means my family was so disciplined that many people used to feel that we are from army, though most of our neighbors were from army. So we used to get up on time, have food on time, sleep on time. Means you can actually, through our lights, make out what is the time. That punctuality existed in my family. That brought that discipline. And second thing was, since education was not the top priority, I actually started enjoying it. I used to even read lot of novels, and one distant cousin of my mom told her that it's not the right thing to read, and she used to ensure that there are no novels around. You won't believe that I have read novels on treetops, on lofts, on any means. I was reading them in such speed because I knew that if she got it, she would just throw it in the fire. uh, Fast reading techniques, all those things. And I became a very tactful reader just because of my mom, thanks to her. And now, you won't believe that I have taught my mom during adult literacy campaign. And she's educated now. She can read newspaper. She can do a lot of things herself. And you won't believe, when I used to teach her, she had a lot of excuses saying that it's dinner time and all that. And I used to tell her, I will cook it. You better study. And in that entire pretext, we became good friends at a good age when, usually there are rifts between, teenage, when mom and daughters have rifts. That was a time when we actually got together, and we
Mhm.
are friends still now because of what we did then. Because I became a teacher, she became the student, and realized, and now entire new world was open in front of her, and her way of looking at us changed, and thereafter she was our support pillar.
Wow. What a lovely journey, right? The mother who gave you birth got a new birth after knowing what education is.
Yes.
And then not you not being confining that I'll use this as for me, you thought, why not my mother?
Yes.
And being a daughter, you actually enlightened her or gifted her that there is something called education. Taste it. And the
Yes.
moment she tasted, the aura around changed. So that was very smart of you to get your novels back. Is something you start reading. I'll get mine, right?
Yes.
Great, great. Now, when you were growing up, you said discipline. So, whenever I talk to anybody, I say, I am like this because of the discipline at house. We were not allowed to do certain things, and we were only allowed to do certain things at certain times. And I thought my mother was really, a Hitler then. That why
Yes.
at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Sunday and summer vacation, I have to get up. But that early child or the early riser had got me
Yes.
so many benefits. Before the world rises, I can finish a lot of tasks. So you did tell about discipline, great. How important are hobbies introduced at the right age? What is your
Yeah.
view on it?
Right. So my hobbies are also bit funny. Since I told you that I was not allowed to read, reading became a hobby. You do all those things which people don't want you to do. Even I write poetry, and I learned driving. For driving also, I have a story that I was told that I am short, so I can't drive. One of my friend told me this, and I believed it for long time. And then when I got married, thanks to my husband, he said, "Who told you that driving has something to do with height?" And then he introduced me to one of his very short friend who is a very fine driver. He was driving the Innova. And that
Wow.
very day, this friend of my husband, he taught me driving. Okay, saying that these are the simple rules. And after that, I did join the driving school. And immediately after learning my driving, I even did car rally, Lavasa car rally. Immediately, means within 1 month, I enrolled and even finished the car rally. So that entire phobia was gone. So somewhere I feel that embracing your fears, working on it by actually throwing yourself in those things will make the difference. And we all women actually are told of so many such lies, creating phobias around us. So I think my message to everybody watching here is that please beware. They are lies. You can do everything. There is nothing in this world which you can't do.
Wow, what a message. So, I just wanted to share a small story. As you said that you opened doors for your mother to education. My mother ensured that I learned a two-wheeler at when I was in fourth grade, and I learned my car, I think, when I was in sixth or seventh grade. And she trusted me so much. When I was learning, I thought she knew it all because I was a child, right? So she got me a scooter. I got out of the house and I saw a scooter and I was like, wow, whose is that? And she's like, yours. I was like, but I don't know how to ride one. She said, yeah, I know you have to put key and these are gears, this is brake, cycles, so you have to just sit on it and try and balance. I said, okay, if it sounds so easy. So I did that. One kick, the scooter started. I did clutch some gear and boom, it went. And I did a complete round and I asked her, where is the brake when I was doing that round? She said, down, down. Somebody said down. And I did apply the brakes and the scooter paused. And she said, did you fell in that entire trip? I said, no. So she said, I wanted to go to an auntie's house. Can you drop me? She sat behind, showing that trust. And the same happened in the car thing. So she told one of our drivers that, can you just show her how to drive? We went for a mini 15 minutes drive, and then he comes back and says, ma'am, she knows driving. Little did I know that she was doing all that to make it look so simple.
Yes.
And second, she comes up to me when I was in my 10th grade and says, it's your summer vacation. Would you teach me how to cycle? I said, cycle? You want to cycle? And she said, yeah, but we have to do early morning. I said, why early morning? She said, because I wear a sari and I need to wear a churidar, so I'll do it before the sun rises. So to do that, I had to get up early morning, 4 o'clock, ensure that she learned cycling. And then she comes back and says, I drive it like really good. I ride my cycle. So can you help me to teach a scooty? I said, yes, Mama, why not? It's simple. You only said no. Let's do it the same way. And then she learned, she enjoyed. Then she comes back after 2 years. Kanchan, the driver was telling that I can never learn driving because I forget the balance. So will you be my trainer here? I said, Mama, you only taught me. Let's go. So again, she's like, when people will laugh this age, I'm at 40 now and I'm doing all this. So we'll do early morning. So because of that early morning of hers that the world sleeps, I became an early morning person. I can only study now at 3 and 4 when the world is sleeping. And she did it. Now she is her 64 years and she still drives and she takes care of things. So that inquisitive learner in her, and now with the new world, when I see that she feels so confident that I'm driving, I'm all by own, I'm not dependent on anyone. So I think this message to all, I just wanted to share that you brought her to the world of education. She did ask my help, and today she's all independent. So yeah, it is all important. Indeed, yes.
Driving is very, very important. Yes.
A lot of women think that they can't drive, and there are a lot of myths around the world. I have driven around 8 lakh kilometers across India, night driving, you tell it highways. Yesterday I was driving whole night yesterday to come here indoors. So it's easy if you really trust your instincts. And thank you for sharing your story that short heighted people, or if you have glasses you can't. So these are all myths. You'll find your way. Thank you for sharing that part here. Very, very well said. Now, how important is education? And how did you fought for your English medium? Then what happened after 12th, or how was your journey till your PhD? Would you just share
Yeah.
something right there?
So yes, a bit. Uh, After 12th, when I was in 12th science and I wanted to take admission for engineering, but somewhere my father thought that if I become an engineer, we will not find an engineer groom for her. So he wanted me to do something saying that why don't you go in teaching or banking, giving me those options. And my mother could sense that, so entire night she persuaded me to cancel the admission. So the admission which I've got in free seat that time, I cancelled it. And then instead of BSc, I was uh, very upset. So instead of doing BSc, I directly went to BCom. Reason being, BCom was a course, morning course, so I could get a lot of time. And I thought, hereafter, I'm not going to take money from my father. It's not that we are from a very well-off family, but I was furious and I thought of taking revenge that way. I wouldn't lie that I was eating what they gave me. Food was given by them, clothes were given by my parents. But as far as education is concerned, I didn't take a penny from my parents after my 12th. I could manage it all my own by, coaching, doing everything. Means I just started living a Cinderella life, though there was no such scenario in my. I usually like it that way. Sometimes I feel that life should be tough, even if it is not. And I started this tough journey. So I did my BCom, and the day I took admission for commerce, I also took admission for one diploma in business administration and for company secretary course.
Wow.
And
Wow.
luckily, and I was working also. And luckily, my sisters told my mom that she will fail everywhere. She is doing. And to prove her wrong, I actually had distinction in all the things which I was doing. And I could complete my company secretary course. Usually, it's a very tough course with a passing percentage of 3%. Especially if you are not having coaching, it's all the more difficult. But I could, God was with me, and I could complete that course also in exactly with my commerce graduation. So I had 2 degrees. After that, I got a good job in a listed company which was listed on 4 stock exchange. Yes, during this time, I will tell you one scenario. One of my uh, neighbor's daughter, she was 3, 4 years elder to me. She did her graduation and started working in one cooperative bank. So that time, my mom used to tease me, saying that you are doing so many things. She has already started earning. So I had to tell her that maybe I will earn later. Well, not earning that much now, but when I start earning, I will earn properly, not like that. And yes, God was with me, and somewhere my dreams came true. I got a very good job, right? Means getting a role of a company secretary directly. Usually, people start with an assistant company secretary. So there, God was with me. I got job of a proper CS for a listed company which was listed on 4 stock exchange, and got to learn a lot of things. And then, because I had that hunger of learning and giving exams, I did my law, then I did my MBA, and kept on doing. And then I thought of doing PhD also. So the PhD happened in 2013. I completed my PhD. So even that was not something which I needed, because in corporate these degrees, especially PhD, is not important. But somewhere I wanted to have that degree, so I had it. And one more beautiful thing is that when my PhD news came in the newspaper, I didn't knew about it. I It was my mom who read it, and she has the cutting, and from her I got the cutting. So thank God I taught her to, you know. And she used to tell everybody, "Look, my daughter is she has done PhD." I feel that somewhere the best gift which we can give to our parents is something like this. It's not money. It's something which they can really flash around and be proud of.
Wow. So I connect so much with you, Kamaljeet, knowing you on this podcast. You said after 12th you didn't take a penny from your parents. So did I. All my education from a BSc to MBA to MA to PhD is all funded by me. And
Yes.
maybe we are different, that it is not their love, but it is about being independent and ensuring that we cater to our needs and create more and build more and grow. So thank you so much for sharing that. And somehow when we see back, it all feels that it was a plot and it was destined, this was destiny, that you had to do it. So imagine a paper signed for an engineering and you didn't enroll, and then BCom and CS together you never thought of, then getting a job of a company secretary, and then this is like 2 decades now, Kamaljeet, what we're talking of.
Yes, yes, 20, exactly 2000 pass out. So 24 years. Yeah.
My good Lord. So when you were talking about, pass out in 20 years, 24 years back, I was in 10th grade in 2000. And then it was not that simple.
Yeah.
Coming from a business family, women working in an international forum, or making your voice felt, how difficult was then, where you only see few women working? How was your journey in the last 2.5 decades?
Yes. So when it comes to my corporate professional journey, I always felt that yes, women are not given the kind of respect which they deserve. There is always undercutting, and people feel that it's like a secondary job they are doing. In fact, I have even heard that CS is a women job. It's more like a secretary to somebody. And I had to tell, so even when people were coming to see me for marriage purpose, one guy who had done MS, and he was settled in US, my parents had, too much faith that I should marry that person. He, in fact, insulted me saying that you are secretary to whom? And I still remember what I told that guy. I told him that, look, how many engineers pass out every year? So way then, now the number is like, maybe 5 lakh or 10 lakh. In Maharashtra only, that's the number, 3 lakh engineers getting pass out. That time it must be around 30,000, 50,000 engineers per year. From Maharashtra only, and pan India, again the number would be high. I told him that I belong to an institute where each member is given a unique number. Okay. And my number, and it's pan India, my number is 15141, 15,141th company secretary. I'm also a fellow member of the institute. After you complete certain, parameters, you get the fellow membership. And my fellow membership number is 5241. I'm the 5,241th fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries. We are rare, you don't know about us, and that's why you are asking questions. He felt insulted too, and we didn't get married, but somewhere
And
I feel, yeah, but yeah, and after coming home, he said that to his mom. It was narrated to my parents too that your daughter is very arrogant. But somewhere I felt that a person who doesn't respect me doesn't deserve me. So I feel that you have to tell people what you are, And as a company secretary also, like yesterday only, I actually go back to my alma mater, take lectures. So I told this to the new batch of, company secretary students coming out, that right from day one, you have to position yourself in a corporate. Don't let people treat you like a clerk. You are not that minute writing company secretary. You become the company secretary who will tell the board what ethics has to come in doing business. Okay.
Correct.
And we are doing all this. That's our real role. So while doing business, don't just say yes and nod, and don't do that paperwork. Be sure that what they are doing is ethically correct. You are a compliance officer. Ensure that you are doing compliance in the spirit of law, not just the verbatim, because we just do checklist work. Don't be a company secretary who's doing checklist work. Be a company secretary who actually guides the board in the right sense, ethically, taking the organization just like what Tata did. Okay, they may not be the richest empire in the world, but they are the most ethical empire. It was my dream to work with Tata, and I got that opportunity. So I know that what they say, they follow.
Wow. Such a beautiful way of not letting the world know who you are, but telling the world know that this is what I am. And ethics and integrity is so deep rooted when it comes to leadership. When you're doing right things and being that right person in that right room is so important. So thank you, Kamaljeet, for sharing that. And now let me just talk about how important was your learning in your leadership journey. How do you connect the dots?
Yes, so I would say the degrees which I took were the need of the hour. Why I did my LLB was that I could see that I'm already having the CS degree, but somewhere the legal department doesn't want to give me information because I don't have the legal degree. So I did my LLB after I was when I was working full time. Luckily, I had to fight for it because it was a full time course. So I told them that I will come to office at 11:30. And I would also like to acknowledge and thank DS Kulkarni sir for allowing me to come late. And I used to stay up late to make up for that particular time. So, in fact, that time also, our CFO once was teasing me when I came and punched at 11:30, saying that some girls fool management by saying they are studying and they roam around. And then I actually confronted him and told him that why don't you come and check my attendance at my college if you are having those kind of doubts. So people would definitely, you know, go- try to badmouth you or say wrong things about you. And if you hear that, don't be quiet. You should tell them the facts, because otherwise they will think, if you are quite or silent, people are going to believe that what they are saying is correct. So telling them that you are not correct is also very important. And after that, when I got the opportunity to uh, in one company, like I wouldn't take name, it's a big company now, but when I had joined them, it was a very small company with great potential. So they gave me my salary check in hand and made me sign on a register. And I was stunned because the organizations where I had worked earlier didn't have that practice. And I told them, "What are you doing? Where is it? You should be depositing it in my bank account, and you should give me a salary slip." So they didn't knew anything about that, because I must be the 18th employee in that particular company. So I started. They said that if you know, how about you doing it? And then
Wow.
started doing the payroll for that particular company, to such an extent that later on we had SAP in the organization for doing that. I have also got Green Tech Gold Award for HR practices in that particular. So that was the time when I did my BHR. And afterwards, when I saw that the management is saluting only the marketing department. Then I did my PhD in marketing so that I am in a position to ask them questions. I saw that there were some bills which where our digital marketing agency were charging us he- heavy amount. I did my certificate course in digital marketing to understand that what exactly is the cost. And I could find that instead of 77 rupees, he was charging us 877 rupees per lead. So unless you go deep dive, learn those things, you will not be in a position to understand whether what they are saying is correct or not. I know I am actually following a hard way. I can appoint a consultant for all these things, but somewhere I felt that it will keep me busy. I'm more like a Tata truck. If I am fully busy, then I'm calm and quiet. Otherwise, I'm a naughty girl roaming around. So it's better that I keep myself busy in studying.
Wow, what a journey from BCom to CS to law to digital marketing, MBA, PhD, and now engineering. I can count on finger seven and leaving all the certifications and extra UD in one lifespan. It's not about 10 versions or the 10 robots or the 10 clones of Dr. Kamaljeet. It is one person handling it all, doing it because of the quench of learning and knowing more. So I totally correlate when I was hesitant to do my MBA, but when I saw leadership using some terminologies and finding, and then EBITDA was one word. I was like, what is this? And then doing my HR and marketing. And trust me, when I was doing that entire course of my MBA, I really didn't have time to read books. So I would just go to the finance head or my country head and ask questions, and they explained me in office on the whiteboards. So writing those answers in my MBA, being the second topper in class, I really literally didn't have to mug because I worked for that entire journey. It became so systematic. It's like, oh, that is the reason we do this analysis. Oh, now I know why we do it. And then when I was doing this, I understand how much human psychology works. And then MA in English and human psychology helped me to understand people, be more empathetic towards their journey. And PhD, Kamaljeet, how many times I asked you, will I be able to? And you're like, no, 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 go for it, you'll do it. And my my assignments to my RDC, to exams, to getting those results, I always, looked up to you that if you can do it, so can I. And the reason for this passion talks is so that we relate. If when there is an Olympic maybe a record which is set, until that record is set, nobody beats that record.
Yes.
But the moment it is set, then people know if he could do it in 2 minutes, let me try to do it in 1 minute 59 seconds. And then people regularly go, making it, beating that record. So I think until you do it, it is difficult. But when you learn it once, then learning becomes a journey which is not separable from you. So my son says, mama, how long would you study? And I said, until I die. Because I think when I'm learning more, and that made me to realize, and I mostly in all my podcasts say this, that the more I learn, the more I know how little I know, and then learning becomes easy and it keeps you grounded. So, as you said, LLB. So, people were saying, Kanchan, after PhD, what? And there I go. I said, I'm going to enroll for an NLB to understand the law system and see where are the gaps we can help the community. So, being a learner has given me so much, and I can see how much it has given to you. But from a CS to a director of a college, how did this happen, Dr. Kamaljeet?
Yeah. Actually, when I did my PhD guide did tell me she saw the kind of hectic schedule I had. I worked in an industry where 8 p.m. was the normal exit time. Okay, though the entry time was fixed. And I am a workaholic. Both my kids were born on a Sunday. I worked till the last day of my pregnancy. And even after delivery, I must have joined, not even completed 3 months in both the cases because of the nature of job I was handling. Uh, and I always took that as a privilege, not as a complaint, because somewhere when we demand salaries like men, I think we should also work like men. And we
Wow.
cannot really, give excuses. And I've seen that many ladies don't like my statement, this statement, saying that our body is different and all that. I always feel that it is you who is asking for this particular sympathy. We are far, far stronger than men. Let me tell you, I believe that we are
Correct.
strong. If you go to any of the Tata estates where you will see those ladies holding those, you know, tea bags and all that, they're very strong. So same way, we are also physically strong. We have to just believe in it. Now, regarding my, this particular opportunity of venturing into education industry, though she told me in when I did my PhD, but I have started it recently. What happened was that during that time when actually applied for a job as a lecturer, though I was a visiting lecturer, which I used to do along with my job, it was completely fine. But going for a full time teaching job, I saw the salaries and I said, am I mad to, you know, start my journey? And I saw the salaries of those, means even the my PhD guide, who was again director that time in one particular college where she was working after retirement. Her salary was also, half of what I was getting. So I had no inclination towards venturing into education. But later on, there are some people, I think their visualization and aspiration took me to this. There are two, three friends of mine who used to say, a friend who actually introduced me to Dr. Ajinkya Divai Patil. She once told me, she was on that campus and she told me, can you believe it, Kamaljeet, I'm visualizing you here. I said, why are you visualizing me there? Did you hear? And then she wanted me to do one or two, like you spoke about, project financing and such things. So I got an opportunity to do opinion writing for two of their investment project, which was given to me. I studied it and gave my opinion. I was thinking of starting my own practice that time, and this was part of that particular journey. And they liked it so much that I got the offer. And then I told them that, sorry, I can't join you because of the pay packages. So they said, no, we will give you what you want. And I told them, and they gave me what I want. And here I am, though many people don't like the kind of salary they are paying me. But yeah, I would definitely say that I had to learn a lot because it's a different industry.
Industry altogether, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a hard worker, and whatever tasks were given to me, I have actually fulfilled it wholeheartedly. God was with me. There were challenges, but at the same time, I feel that I learned a lot, and I'm in a very good industry where I actually meet so many young minds every single day. I think it's like a blessing in disguise, because I don't
Wow.
there could be uh, as beautiful industry as education industry, and especially higher education has its own importance. And I'm
Mhm.
handling higher education, and I am nurturing so many young minds. So thank
Wow.
God giving me this opportunity. It just came my way. I hadn't planned it that way, but I would say some of my very good friends actually wanted me to be in this particular industry. In fact, I had one assistant who used to say that, "Ma'am, I feel that you will be heading a university or a educational institution." I said,
Wow.
"What do you feel?" Maybe because we are studying so much, maybe I also aspire and think that someday you will be heading the institution, or maybe you will be forming your own campus, your own school in times to come.
Thank, thank you, Dr. Kamaljeet, for giving me a new vision today and letting me know having right people and right energies who manifest. So, you didn't want, but somebody wanted. And that manifestation changed what you wanted in the same way where you wanted. So, those energies, when we say that, people say that blessings work in all the ways. It depends upon how much energy you radiate. So, thank you so much there. Now, you say, or I conclude maybe that you're an accidental CS, an accidental doctor, an accidental director, now an accidental, again, an engineering which you left years back because your father didn't approve, writing and doing it with your daughter. At this age where you're already the director of an engineering college and being a student in a different engineering college, so you could say it accident. But today, when I see a director who needed a PhD, a person who understands law, a person who knows what is legal aspect of company secretary, a person who has done BCom and did it all because wanted to learn more. And now when it comes, so you learned, you earned, and now you're beautifully giving it back or returning to the society you come from. So when you said you are shaping the next future, you're shaping some engineers, some managers, and some people who would have their own startup. And when they meet you, maybe after 10 years, 20 years, you would say, I was there when the person didn't know what to do. I was there, taking care of that lamp when it was finding or facing those winds. So beautiful journey, and you're very kind in saying that it just happened. But we know the battling you went through. You said your children were born on weekends. My children were born on weekends, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And literally, my reporting manager, country head, then told me that if you don't go out of office and you deliver here, I don't want my office to be messy. Can you please go? You have leaves. And I did join, and we weren't blessed to have 6 months, but we were blessed with right people. So I did join after both the children, and they were so helpful, giving me those small breaks to go home. And the entire team became so obvious that go take your break, people bringing in food, ensuring that we take breaks. So there's love, care, and right people around. So society and support system is something which you create on your journey, and you did that beautifully well, Dr. Kamalji. Now, being a learner to a leader today, how would you define leadership and how important it is to be the right women leader?
I would say that leadership is all about creating more leaders.
Wow.
Okay, if you are trying to tell people how to do things, then you are not a leader. You are I would say, instructor. And a leader is a person who allows people to do mistake. Okay, embraces those mistakes and tell them how to do rightly. Takes responsibility when things go wrong. Okay, takes the blame, and let me tell you, automatically people understand. I give you one scenario where my staff was supposed to count the cash, and he didn't cash, and that particular cash had come from one of my very good connects. And next time again, when that cash came, so this person said that, let me count, sir. Last time there was 30,000 less. So that person said, why didn't you tell me? So he said that madam paid. Okay, and but she said next time you have to come. So that's the lesson. And I didn't even tell that person because it was mistake of my person. So somewhere when you demonstrate those things, automatically people respect you. And leadership is not about I would say that uh, people term it as leadership, but somewhere I think it's about a personality. Some people behave that way, and I'm blessed to have good leaders in my life, and I just want to copy them, be like them, And at the same time, I see that it's more about, empathy rather than sympathy, because you treat people the way you want yourself to be treated. That's
Wow.
it. And
Lovely, lovely.
so what happens is, so many times we give big talk. I've seen people doing a lot of wrong things, and then talking about ethics in terms of others, that uh, throw that person out because he did so and so, whereas you are also doing similar things, so you really can't say that's good. So I feel that you have to look at the circumstances, and I also teach ethics, and so many times my students ask me this particular question, that it's so difficult, we are in such a marketing ethics is all complicated, right? When you take that profit, where is the ethics and all that? So I have always tell them that, look, for growing your business, you are keeping a margin. From that margin, you grow that business. It's ethically right. Okay. Even people know that there's a margin, right? But when you are doing in the product, you have written XYZ things will be given. And if you are not giving those things till writing, that is unethical. So you should be transparent about your profit margins also. The balance sheet shows it. So people know that you are taking profit. Not taking profit is not about ethics. So students these days are very much confused about what ethics is in the right sense. And we are all in the rat race of getting recognition, money, power, and I have seen the best leaders are those who do everything and then stand at the back smiling. So that's what is leadership for me. And I want to be that leader. For me, the leader whom I follow and aspire to be is Chanakya. I want to be Chanakya. I don't want to be a king or queen. I want to be the Chanakya who creates more kingdom.
Wow. Amazingly said. Leaders are the ones who create more leaders. Leaders are the one who trust, who enable their team, and let their team face it with you having their back, ensuring that you lead with an example. And integrity, discipline, and respect are the strong foundations which you create for your team. Leading by an example, also in situations leading from front. So thank you so much for bringing that. Now, just to let you know, the entire leadership journey of yours have been a key milestone and an inspiration for many to come. When I talk about my potential, people call me, I'm a feminist. I am doing so much for women, just because even in RDC, I was asked that you brought up a topic because it is your problem. I said, I respect you, sir, for what you have thought or your perception about it. I didn't bring it because it is my problem. I brought it because I am vocal. I spoke. I made my space, but there are others who didn't. And this PhD is to find that. So the topic where I'm doing my research is, the challenges women diversity face to reach executive leadership. You have walked that journey by making your space in organizations where you were 18th, where you told that things are wrong, taking ownership from not getting a check salary to getting an SAP system, to making those changes when you felt were right. Now, what are the challenges normally you think in the era we are today? With technology there, with Zomato, with Swiggy, with Ola, with everything in the blink of an eye. What are the challenges you see for today's women to reach executive leadership? What do you see?
Today's women actually have the challenge of being normal. What happens is, there are so many things that during our times we had, even our family had simple expectations. Today's women will have lot many challenges which we didn't face, because they are in that era where competition is fierce. During my time, how many people did their post graduation? Very few. So I had that edge. Now everybody is doing post graduation. uh, Most of them have good BTech and all that. So that uh, and many of the girls, because they are highly educated, are not getting suitable partners. That loneliness which they will face, Parents are again having high expectations, and parents are not very supportive. Supportive in the right sense, I would say. Means supportive in the sense like my parents had clear instruction: don't do this, don't do that. The parents here are not taking responsibility. They are saying, okay, you are an adult, you can take care of yourself. So the girls these days, I can see them in my hostel, and I can see them that they are lonely and end up taking wrong decisions because of too much freedom given to them. Somewhere when our freedoms were curtailed, we our job was simple because we were trying to fit in that particular uh,
Box.
yeah,
Yeah.
box. But these days, because of too much of freedom, we have too much of choice, and what to choose and what not to choose is a very big dilemma which the girls of this generation are facing. They are getting so many things at such early age that after a particular time there will be vacuum. They will start feeling that life is not as good as it used to be. Too much of consumerism is actually making them weak, making them dependent. You and me, we can cook, drive, do everything, multitasking. I don't think my daughter is equipped to do that. I mean, sometimes she becomes overwhelmed when I tell her that morning to evening you have to do everything with what I am doing. She is not equipped to handle even quarter of the things which I can do very easily. So somewhere, we are only making them weak by pampering them. But in times to come, I think they will figure it out how to handle it. The other thing which I can see is that we were okay with our journey, the pace, everything. We enjoyed it. These days, they want everything, like a tool
Like right now,
is right.
like an Uber now.
Yes, and that patience is something which, and we all know that patience is not about waiting. It is your behavior while waiting, which is patience. So somewhere I feel that spiritualism is going to be the key role. It is going to play a very important role in times to come, where they will have to do a lot of introspection about what they are doing, how they are doing, make the right choices. I don't think they have a problem with respect to resources. Resources are many. The way you said that life is going to be very, very easy, simpler. But with that comes a lot of challenges that when you become, I would say, I say this, we have a innovation and incubation center in our college, and I call it that the club of laziness, because what we're addressing there is, how to make people more lazy. So all that remote control, this Zoom meeting is all about, catering to lazy people. So we are creating a more lazy generation. So somewhere I feel that they will have to work on this part. They will have their different kind of challenges, but I feel that today's generation is very smart. uh, they are more resilient, and I would say, like my daughter has this typical word where she says chill mama. So for everything they have a chill factor built in, and they know how to handle things. I feel that somewhere our kids are strong enough to go through this thing, and maybe their kids will be stronger than them, because we all know Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. So the generation which is coming, or is coming with a better chip. So you know ours was 1990s. I'm in the 19 late 70s. You are in the late 80s or 90s. So these kids, they know how to handle it. We don't have to tell them. So many times I've seen my girls telling me certain leadership tricks. So, and they know how to speak, they know how to challenge,
Mhm.
and I think they are really having that mindset where they know what is right, what is wrong. Though the information era confuses them, but at the same time, they also know there are people like us to guide them. So there are, YouTube videos, and they know that they will go and do that viewing of whether that particular thing is right or wrong. So somewhere I feel that today's generation is equipped for handling those kind of tools. They are better leaders than us.
Great. Thank you so much for bringing that side of the input. Now, a key message you want to give the aspirations or the aspiring leaders of future generation. Any key message you have from your journey of life and leadership?
Yes, yes. So I would like to acknowledge all the men, who actually transformed me. And I would also like to highlight all the women who took me as a threat and tried to backstab me. Friends, let me tell you, we are having our own journeys. We all have that place, and we will always reach there. Okay, there is enough place for all of us. I don't know why that jealousy thread, and what we need to really learn is contentment. Okay, this is very, very important, and it's a luxury, let me tell you. And that satisfaction which I have is something which is a luxury which only I have. So I'm in no rat race with any other lady in this world. Okay, and so to all the ladies who backstab me, and to all the ladies who think about backstabbing somebody, thinking it the other lady as a threat, please, they are not competing with you. They have their own journey, though they you might be the second person in the same department, but you both have the place. That's why they hired both of you, and you both can lead together. So please don't backstab others. As ladies, we should support other ladies rather than pulling them down. So my only request uh, and message to all the ladies and men in the group is that we are not competing with you. We are just competing with ourselves. We are trying to, be a better version of ourselves. And we all have enough place in this world. So please do not backstab each other. Support each other. We will become a stronger team. Instead of competing, collaborate, work together. Your company will grow. This nation will grow. This entire world will.
Wow, what a message, rather than first you started with being vocal and now being there saying that if there are five fingers, they're not same. And if there are five siblings in the house, they don't all become doctors. They have all their journeys which they cater to. The more you fuel your car, the longer it would go. So ensure that you fuel your car and not puncture somebody else's, because a puncture could be meant, but a fuel is your own fuel. So thank you for giving that space that we need to empower more women. We need to enhance the women in you, and your competition is you. So every day, how can I be better than yesterday? And how can I have my upgrade of versions every time there's something new in the world? So thank you for being that strong woman. On a quick lighter note, we will end with a rapid fire. The first thing that comes to your mind, you just speak about it, and there'll be random questions. There's no connection. Okay.
Yes.
So childhood.
Mother,
Okay. Driving.
my husband,
Okay. Shopping online or in person.
in person,
Okay. Movies on OTT or in theater.
OTT,
Okay. Books on PDF or a printed copy.
printed copy,
Okay. Learning or leadership.
learning,
Because that's the fuel to leadership. Smart there. Children,
my pillars,
women,
strength,
the leader you are today.
hard work,
Mountains or oceans.
mountains,
When Kamaljeet is not working, what is Dr. Kamaljeet busy in?
learning.
When Dr. Kamaljeet is in kitchen, what does she feel?
I feel like Annapurna cooking for my family. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Kamaljeet. You spoke your heart out. Your feelings were as pure. Your journey was inspirational. And if this journey could enlighten. There were so many times where I felt, oh, I'm not the crazy one. Oh, I'm not the only one. So thank you for being that light that would enlighten so many more. Thank you for reaching out here and letting the world know that it is not an easy walk. Thank you for telling people that being right is more important than winning. And thank you for telling that we have enough and more. Let's give that space for more leaders. So I and Passion Talks with Kanchan Sonik Season 2 is delighted and honored and privileged with your presence. Thank you for being the leader that we look up to. And all the women around, if we can be the women like Dr. Kamaljeet and learn from her leadership journey, I think your journeys would be an amazing job. So thank you so much. And to everyone who will listen to this wonderful journey, this entire season on Passion Talk with Kanchan Sonic Season 2 is about women in leadership. And I will ensure that I bring all the women in leadership with 10 plus 20 years, 30 years of experience who will speak their journey. And then you would be able to relate that दुनिया में कितना गम है मेरा गम कितना गम है. So the more you see people, you realize that we are all sailing in the same sea. Thank you so much, Dr. Kamaljeet, and to all.
Thank you.
Let's log in again to the next season and keep following Passion Talks with Kanchan Sonic Season 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you.